Hello everybody, this is Margareta Harris in WHO Headquarters Geneva, welcoming you to our Global Press Conference on...
Has reiterated as well is that when we have as part of our testing strategy is where cases are. So our recommendations are to test suspect cases, and we have definitions for those, and we have definitions of contacts and who contacts are of confirmed cases, and make recommendations that contacts, if feasible, should be tested regardless of the development of symptoms. The focus, though, is on those that do develop symptoms. You have to remember our guidance is global, and so we put this out for all countries. We also have investigation guidance out for clusters. And so when you have outbreaks, it's really important that when you're looking specifically for targeted investigations around clusters, that you expand the capacity for testing to look for cases that fall on that mild end of the spectrum and may have asymptomatic infection. Our goal here in breaking chains of transmission is to find where cases are. And we know that people who have symptoms transmit, and we know that people who don't have symptoms can transmit the virus as well. So it is important that we find all cases, and that the actions that we take in finding those cases through contact tracing, we ensure that the contacts of those known cases are in quarantine. This is how we break chains of transmission. These are really critical aspects of bringing outbreaks under control. And I think that it is important that as testing that is part of that strategy, in addition to all of the other measures that need to be put in place, that in situations where it is feasible to be able to expand testing, that is done. But as Mike has also pointed out, it's not just the testing itself, it's getting an answer back quickly, making sure that you have a rapid turnaround to when an individual gets a test if they know if they have that virus or not.
And Dr. Aylward has something to add.
I think sometimes when we're struggling to communicate a concept, that perhaps an example might help. And I remember this famous story from the U.S. There was this wonderful. There was this famous bank robber who finally got caught. A guy called Willie Sutton, and when he got caught, they asked him, "Well, why do you rob banks?" And he looked at them a little befuddled, and he said, "Well, because that's where the money is." And when we look at our testing strategies, exactly as Maria is laying out, we really want to prioritize. We're looking for the virus, right? So you're looking for those people with symptoms, cases, and you're looking to obviously test those. And then your next line, obviously, their closest contacts, et cetera, as you move out. But that's a strategy that's going to help you find your find your virus and be able to stop those chains of transmission. And the other thing, to the point that Maria was highlighting, is that there may be asymptomatic infections out there, but there aren't asymptomatic transmission chains. So if you really know your case and you are really following your contacts, you're going to find those chains of transmission. And that's what this game is all about, finding those chains of transmission, cutting those chains of transmission. So finding those symptomatic, getting them tested, their closest contacts, the contacts of those, that's how you're going to find this virus and stop it.
Thank you, Dr. Aylward and Dr. Van Kerkhoff. For the next question, we will go to India, to Mehab from Punakar News. Mehab, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Thank you so much for taking my question. My question is herd immunity only the perfect